There is a moment in every chase where the hunter believes he has won. The hand closes, the fingers grip, victory feels certain. And then, in that exact instant, the thing he was chasing stops being a person and becomes something he can never touch. That moment, frozen forever, is what a 24-year-old sculptor decided to carve out of a single block of stone. Everything you are looking at is marble. Carrara marble, purchased on a single day in August of 1622. The wind in Apollo's hair, marble. The fingers reaching for a waist, marble. The skin that is no longer skin, also marble. Carrara marble, 243 centimeters high, housed in the Galleria Borghese in Rome. One block, two bodies, one transformation happening in real time, in stone, forever. Now look closer at the hand. Apollo's fingers appear to sink into Daphne's torso. It looks like contact. It looks like he finally caught her. He didn't. Apollo never really touches Daphne's skin. His hand is sinking into her body, but her skin is already transformed into bark at that exact point. There is no physical touch. Your eyes see a grip. The stone is telling you something else entirely. The pursuit ended in the same second it appeared to succeed. This was not a quiet unveiling. Art historian Filippo Baldinucci recorded in his 1682 biography of Bernini that when the piece was finished, there arose such a cry that all Rome concurred in seeing it as a miracle. A miracle, not a compliment. A word usually reserved for things that shouldn't be possible. The man who wanted this miracle was Cardinal Scipione Borghese, the Pope's nephew and one of the most powerful patrons in Rome. Cardinal Scipione Borghese commissioned Apollo and Daphne from Bernini in 1622 to replace an earlier work he had given away to a rival cardinal. He wanted a replacement. He got something that would outlive every political motive behind it. And the man he hired to do it was barely out of his adolescence. Bernini was only 24 years old at the time. Halfway through carving Daphne's transformation, he stopped. Not from doubt. Bernini acquired the marble from sculptor Francesco Stati for 100 scudi. But the carving was interrupted after roughly a year because there was a more urgent job to finish. The David, commissioned by a different cardinal. He left a goddess mid-transformation to go carve a giant killer. Then he came back and finished her. Only in April 1624 did Bernini return to Daphne's metamorphosis. This 20-something sculptor was juggling multiple colossal commissions from the most powerful men in Rome, each one a career-defining masterpiece for any other artist. For Bernini, it was simply Tuesday. Here is what most visitors never notice. Bernini did not hide his tools. Look closely at the bark, at the curls in Apollo's hair. The striations left by the claw chisel simultaneously read as tool marks and as the texture of actual bark. The drill holes scattered among Apollo's curls are both evidence of the instrument that made them and the visual definition of the ringlets themselves. Most sculptors before him spent their lives concealing the evidence of labor. Most sculptors aimed to present the finished work as if it had simply materialized. Bernini does the opposite. He makes his technique visible, almost pedagogical, and in doing so, he increases the wonder rather than reducing it. He is showing you the trick and daring you to still be fooled. You are. Every visitor still is. Scholars still cannot agree on what this sculpture is actually about. Some argue Bernini created it as an allegory celebrating the dizzying power of art itself, or as a warning against the dangers of sensual poetry. Others believe it was meant to sublimate carnal desire, or simply to please a hedonistic cardinal. If you believe the first reading, this is a meditation on how art can freeze the uncontrollable, desire, violence, transformation, into something permanent and safe to look at. If you believe the second, this is something far less comfortable. A 24-year-old immortalizing the exact moment a woman's body becomes unreachable, specifically because a man refused to stop chasing her. Both readings are looking at the same marble. Neither one is wrong. 400 years later, Daphne is still turning into a tree, still reaching upward, still just barely out of reach. Scholars in Rome continue to debate its message, and the arguments still range widely. Apollo's hand is still closing around bark, still believing in marble that he almost won. Do you see a god who lost everything in the same second he thought he'd caught it? Or do you see the moment desire stops being about the other person at all?